Uh, I'm going to start off with the first chapter of your supplementary reader, that is the Lost Child. Now, the writer or the author of this story is Mulk Raj Anand. Now, let us know something about the author. Mulk Raj Anand, he was born in the year 1905 and expired in 2004. He is an notable Indian writer in English. That is, he is an Indian writer, but he writes in English. And he is known for his depiction of the lives of the poorer castes in traditional Indian society. He is a prominent novelist, a short story writer, and he also wrote many critical essays. And he is mostly known for his realistic and sympathetic portrayal of the Indian people. Alright, so that's all about the author. Now, The Lost Child it's a story about a child who was lost in the fair. The child is very happy as he went to the fair along with his parents. He wanted many things, alright, but there is something which happens and he becomes very, very distraught and extremely unhappy. Now, let us start. A child goes to a fair with his parents. He is happy and excited and wants the sweets and toys displayed there. But his parents don't buy them for him. So he is a small child and he is very happy and excited, and he wants the sweets and toys that is in exhibition, that is exhibited by the small shops. But his parents, being disciplinarian, they don't buy the things for him. Now, why then does he refuse when someone else offers them to him? Now, why does the small child refuses those most wanted things? Now, as we read the story, we will come to know. It was the festival of spring. From the wintry shades of narrow lanes and alleys, alleys means narrow passages, wintry shades means that is the lanes and alleys were dark and grey. So from those small lanes and alleys emerging, that is emerged or appeared, a gaily clad humanity. That is, out of those dark alleys appeared very bright looking people and crowd. That is, they were gaily clad, happy and very bright, because it was a fair and it was a festival of spring. It was a festive season. Some walked, some rode on horses, others sat, being carried in bamboo and bullock carts. That is, some of them were walking and some of them were coming by those bullock carts. Among those crowd there was one little boy who was running between his father's legs, brimming over. He was full of life and laughter. He was extremely happy and full of life and laughter. "Come, child, come," called his parents as he lagged behind. That is, he could not keep the pace and he was lagging behind because he was fascinated by the toys in the shops that lined the way, because he was watching intently or observing the toys, and that is why he could not keep the pace. He hurried towards his parents, his feet obedient to their call. That is, the child was an obedient one, and as the parents called him, he hurried. His eyes still lingering, but though he was hurrying, his eyes were still on the receding toys. Receding toys means toys were moving gradually away because he was walking forward, but he was still looking at those toys. As he came to where they had stopped to wait for him, that is, the parents stopped to wait for him, he could not suppress the desire of his heart, even though he well knew the old cold stare of refusal in their eyes. He gathered courage to ask something, though he knew the answer. He knew that the answer will be a no or a refusal. Now the child pleaded, requested, "I want that toy." His father looked at him red-eyed. He was angry. In his familiar tyrant's way, he was a dictator, did not listen to anyone else, and he was a strict disciplinarian. So he was obviously very, very annoyed with the child. Now the mother melted by the free spirit of the day. It was a festive day, and the mother was feeling more loving, and he was kinder that day. And she was tender, softer than usual, and giving him her finger to hold, said, "Look, child, what is before you?" Now, the mother wanted to console the child because she was feeling a little softer that day. And to attract the attention of the child, she said, "See what is before you." Now, it was a grand view, a magnificent one. It was a flowering mustard field, pale like melting gold. That is, it was melting gold, yellow color, the mustard field, as it swept across miles and miles of even land. It was a vast and huge mustard field and a lovely view. A group of dragonflies were bustling about, moving energetically. These dragonflies, on their gaudy purple wings, and they had these bright color purple wings. These dragonflies, they were intercepting, obstructing the flight of a single black bee or butterfly in search of sweetness from the flowers. And these dragonflies, they were obstructing the flight of the bee or the butterfly who was searching for nectar from the flowers. The child followed them in the air with his gaze, and the child he is a small child. He wants to see and enjoy the beauty of nature, and the insects attracted his attention, and he was constantly looking at them, following them. Now, why was he looking? Because he thought that one of them would still its wings, one of them would stop flying and would remain still in the air and rest, and then he would try to catch it. Now, he thought that as one of them would still its wings, he would try to catch, but it would go fluttering, flapping up into the air when he had almost caught it in his hands, and he almost caught along with the parents, keeping the same pace for a while, until something again attracted his attention. Being, however, soon left behind, again he was lagging behind. Attracted by the little insects and worms along the footpath that were teeming out, that is, the footpath was completely swarming with insects and worms who came out from their hiding place to enjoy the sunshine. It was a bright sunny day, and the worms and the insects, they were on the footpath enjoying the bright sunshine. "Come, child, come," his parents called from the shade of a grove. That is, they sat for a little rest under the shade of small trees, and where they had seated themselves on the edge of a well. He ran towards them, and the child ran towards the parents. Now, as the child entered the grove,